Episode 18, Arendor, Smoke Dragon, Unseen King, and the Maiden. Welcome back to Train the Dragon. This is a space for men who choose strength over shame, discipline over impulse, and Jesus Christ over lust. If you're here, you're not broken. You're powerful. And power requires training. Jordan Peterson says, a harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very dangerous man who has that under voluntary control. President Dallin H. Oaks says, the purpose of the gospel is to transform us through Jesus Christ. The Return of the Hearth, a sequel to Knights and the Maiden and Smoke Dragon. Winter passed, not gently, but with purpose. Arendor did not return to glory all at once. There was no trumpets, no sudden healing, no swift restoration of what had been broken. Instead, there were mornings, quiet, unremarkable mornings, where the knight rose before the sun and chose the path set before him. Each day, he tightened his armor with care. Each night, he laid down his sword with reverence. The unseen knight had taught him this truth. Victory is not proven in moments of strength, but in the hours no one witnesses. Training of the dragon. Though the smoke dragon no longer ruled him, its shadow still lingered at the edges of the world. It whispered from mirrors of polished glass and pools of false reflection. It promised ease, it promised relief. But Arendor no longer argued with it. He trained. He learned to recognize the first breath of smoke when it filled the air, but when it first stirred his chest. When exhaustion came, he rested instead of wandering. When loneliness rose, he sought brotherhood rather than isolation. When desire flared, he turned his face towards the light and named the truth aloud. This was the training, not domination, not denial, but direction. The dragon within him, once wild, shame-fed and destructive, began to bow. Not because it was destroyed, but because it was finally under command. The maidens watched far from Arendor's road. Alaneath guarded her own stronghold. She had learned wisdom through pain. She had learned that love without safety becomes sacrifice, and sacrifice without choice becomes loss. She did not rush to hope, nor did she harden her heart beyond mercy. She watched not for perfection, but for patterns. Was the knight becoming the same man in the light and shadow? Was truth spoken even when it cost him comfort? Did his strength remain when no reward followed? She listened carefully, and though she did not yet return, she no longer feared his presence in memory. That, too, was beginning. The trial of silence. One evening, as the stars sharpened against the dark, the smoke dragon returned. Not with smoke, but with silence. You have changed, it said, and still you are alone. What has your virtue earned you? The words struck, deeper than flame ever had, for this was the dragon's last weapon, despair. Arendor felt the ache rise, the old hunger to prove himself worthy, admired, desired. For a moment the path seemed unbearably long. And then the unseen knight stood beside him, no blade drawn, no rebuke, only this. Would you rather be whole and unseen, or praised and enslaved? Arendor bowed his head. The dragon's silence broke, and it fled. The hearth rekindled. The return did not come as conquest. It came as permission. Alaneath did not open the door because the knight demanded it. She opened it because, over time, she had seen a man who no longer needed smoke to stand. The hearth was lit carefully. Boundaries were honored like sacred stones. Words were chosen slowly. Trust was not rushed, it was earned. And Arendor understood at last. Love is not reclaimed by pursuit, but by becoming safe to approach. The new code, Arendar reforged his oath, not to reclaim the past, but to guard the future. He swore to flee the mermaids, always, to name truth before fear, to choose presence over escape, to serve without demand, to walk daily with the unseen night. For he now knew his disease would never leave him, but neither would his deliverer. And remember, always remember, you were never meant to kill the dragon within you, just to train it.